The phone screen glowed in the dark, a single notification slicing through the silence of my bedroom. I maxed out your credit card on my bachelorette party. You'll get. The message cut off unfinished, a jagged cliffhanger sent at 2:47 a.m. My thumb hovered over the screen, trembling, as my heart thudded against my ribs. I stared at the words, willing them to shift into something less sharp, less real. The air felt heavy, like the moment before a storm breaks, and I couldn't breathe without tasting betrayal. I sat on the edge of the bed, the sheets cool against my thighs, and read the text again. The words didn't change. Lila, my fiancé, had sent this. Lila, who'd kissed me goodnight last week before boarding a plane for Vegas, promising to call every day. Lila, whose laughter used to feel like sunlight. The credit card was mine, but we'd agreed to share it for wedding expenses. Flowers, catering, her dress. Now it was a weapon, its balance gutted in a single night. I opened the banking app, my fingers clumsy, and there it was. $8,427.19 in charges. Clubs, hotels, bottle service. Numbers that screamed excess, recklessness, indifference. The apartment was too quiet. The hum of the fridge in the kitchen felt like a pulse, mocking my stillness. I wanted to call her, to scream, to demand why. But my voice felt trapped, lodged in my throat like a stone. Instead, I scrolled through our texts, searching for clues. Her messages from the trip had been short but warm. Miss you, babe. Vegas is wild. With a heart emoji. Can't wait to be your wife. I'd smiled at those, picturing her dancing with her friends, carefree but still mine. Now each word felt like a lie, a thin veil over something I hadn't seen coming. I stood, pacing the hardwood floor, my bare feet catching the chill. The living room smelled faintly of her perfume, jasmine, sharp and sweet, lingering on the couch where we'd planned our future. The memory hit hard. Lila curled against me, her hair spilling over my shoulder, talking about kids, a house, growing old. I'd believed every syllable, but now doubt crept in like damp rot. Had she been pretending then, or was this text the aberration? My mind churned, replaying every moment, every glance, searching for cracks I'd missed. The next morning I sat at the kitchen table, coffee untouched, staring at my phone. She hadn't texted again. No follow-up, no explanation. I typed, "What the hell, Lila?" but deleted it. Too angry. Too weak. Instead I sent, "Hey, saw your text. Can we talk?" Neutral, controlled, though my hands shook. I waited, watching the screen like it might confess her secrets. An hour passed. 2. Nothing. I drove to work, the city blurring past. Horns blaring, lights flickering, the world moving while I felt stuck. My coworker, Sam, noticed my distraction. "You okay, man?" he asked, leaning against my desk. His voice was kind, but I couldn't meet his eyes. "Just tired." I lied, my throat tight. I wanted to tell him, to spill the hurt, but the words felt too raw, too personal. Instead, I buried myself in spreadsheets, numbers safer than emotions. That evening, Lila called. Her voice was bright, too bright, like glass about to shatter. "Hey, babe. How's it going?" she chirped, as if nothing had happened. I gripped the phone, my knuckles white. "Lila," I said, my voice low. "What's with the credit card?" Silence stretched, thick and heavy. Then a laugh, forced, brittle. "Oh, that? God, I'm so sorry. The girls got carried away, and I didn't realize how much we spent. I'll pay you back, I promise." Her words sounded rehearsed, like lines she'd practiced in a mirror. "You maxed it out," I said, my voice steady but cold. $8,000. In one night." Another pause. I heard voices in the background, her friends laughing, music pulsing. She was still in Vegas. I know, she said, rushed. "It was stupid. I wasn't thinking. Can we talk when I'm back?" "I'm so sorry, babe." Babe. The word stung, a hollow echo of intimacy. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to picture her caught up in the moment, swept away by champagne and neon lights. But something in her tone, too casual, too quick, gnawed at me. "What were you buying?" I asked. "Just stuff," she said, vague. "Drinks, a VIP table. You know how it gets." I didn't know. I'd never spent a month's rent in one night. I hung up, her promises ringing hollow. The next 2 days were torture. I checked my phone obsessively, hoping for clarity, for remorse. She texted once, "Boarding now. Love you." I didn't reply. When she walked through the door that night, her suitcase thudding against the floor, I felt a jolt, not joy but dread. She looked the same, dark hair loose, eyes bright, but different, like a stranger wearing her skin. "Hey," she said, smiling, reaching for me. I stepped back and her smile faltered. "Lila, we need to talk," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. The air between us thickened. She nodded, sitting on the couch, her hands folded tightly in her lap. "I messed up," she started, her eyes on the floor. "I got drunk, and the girls kept pushing for more drinks, more everything. I didn't mean to hurt you." I wanted to believe her, but the math didn't add up. $8,000 wasn't just drinks. "Show me the charges," I said. Her eyes flicked up, startled, then away. "I don't have the receipts," she mumbled. "They're with Jess." Jess, her maid of honor, who'd always seemed too wild, too reckless. I pressed, "Call her. Now." Lila hesitated, her fingers twitching. "She's asleep," she said too quickly. The room felt smaller, the walls closing in. "Lila," I said, my voice breaking. "What aren't you telling me?" Her silence was louder than any confession. Then softly she said, "It wasn't just drinks." My heart stopped. "There was a guy," she whispered, tears spilling. "Not like that, I didn't sleep with him. But he was there buying us stuff and I let it happen." The world tilted. I saw it all, Lila laughing, flirting, letting some stranger pay for her night while my card burned. Not cheating maybe, but a betrayal all the same. "Why?" I asked, my voice raw. She sobbed. "I don't know. It felt good to be wanted, to be free for one night before." She trailed off, but I heard the rest. "Before I'm tied to you." I stood, walking to the window, the city lights blurring through my tears. I thought of our plans, the wedding we'd dreamed of, the life we'd built in my mind. All of it felt like ash now. "I need time," I said, not looking at her. She nodded, her sobs filling the silence. I didn't ask her to leave, but I didn't ask her to stay either. That night I slept on the couch, the weight of her confession pressing against my chest. The ring on the dresser, hers, glinted in the moonlight. A promise now broken. I didn't know if we could rebuild, if trust could grow again from this wreckage. But as dawn crept in, painting the room gray, I realized something worse. I'd loved her so much I hadn't seen her clearly. And maybe, just maybe, I'd betrayed myself too.